I talk to a lot of people who say, hey, I want to write the next great novel, or I want to do this, or I want to do that. Yeah, listen, if that's your passion, I get it. But in the meantime, you do have rent to pay, and you do have two kids that get hungry on a fairly regular basis. And sometimes you choose the behavior, you choose the consequences. So I tell people, look, you have to pursue your passion, but you've got to be realistic about it. It's great if you can afford to quit your job and go write the next great novel, and the chance of you doing that is probably not great for most people. So I could decide I want to be the next big NBA star right now, but I've got like a 3-inch vertical, so that's probably not going to happen. You don't want to kill people's dreams, but you've got to have people be realistic. They got to look at the reality of where they are. They got to meet their requirements. I mean, I feel really blessed in that everything I've ever done, I truly feel like has prepared me for what I'm now doing. That's not true of everybody. I mean, if I'd spent 5 years selling shrimp out of a van down by the river, that wouldn't have prepared me a whole lot for what I'm doing today. But since I've been able to choose the things I've done, those experiences have contributed to what I'm doing. You're great at math. You say, you were doing calculus and this, that, and the other. I can't add 2 and 2 and get 5 every time. So I've stayed away from that kind of thing. Whereas the qualitative sciences have been really easy for me. So I've chosen a path where I talk for a living, where I reason for a living, where I, talk about critical thinking and things of that nature. People can choose a path where, the wind's at their back, the sun's at their back, because it matches their skill sets. But you talk about in your next 5 moves, you say you get into the habit of thinking 5 moves ahead in everything you do in business. Just working to try and do that will lift your game and lead to greater success. Translate that to the average American. I deal a lot with the heartland, not the two coasts, but all these people in the middle that are living their lives, raising their families. They live in the flyover states. They're people that are trying to find a way to create extra opportunities, extra security. They don't have a lot of latitude. They don't have a lot of disposable income. They don't have a lot of disposable time. I'm the one that says, you're still in business for yourself. How do you translate this into language and action for kind of the everyday person on the street? How do you translate that into action for them? What do you tell those people to do to start making changes?
That's a great question. And by the way, you were saying how you were lucky enough from the beginning where it sounds like you wanted to sell shrimp. It sounds like you were interested, and maybe you were reflecting back right now saying, I wish I did sell shrimp down by the river, but meaning you kind of got into exactly what you're doing today, and it kind of built you up to being where you are today, even working at Hallmark. They're a big customer service place, and you being one of the best guys in the world at interviewing and getting information out of people, right? I mean, you're responsible for a rap song. You're responsible for quite a few different things, Dr. Phil. What's the famous line she said with you that became the baby? I don't know what her name is. Anyways, you've done a lot of different things that we see with the work. But here's what I would say to the average day-to-day person. What I would say to the average day-to-day person is this. One day I'm at church and a pastor gets up and he says, one of these pastors gets up and he says, I married the first girl I kissed, okay? I chose not to drink. I chose to save myself before I have sex. And he's just going through this message, and I'm sitting there, and he says, why can't you do it? Why can't more of us do that? And he finishes the sermon on this message. And I'm sitting there asking myself and looking around the congregation saying, who liked today's message? Who listened to this message like, oh my God, I'm inspired. Because of course, we all save ourselves before we get married. Of course, we marry the first person we kiss. Of course, we make all the right choices in our lives. I said probably 90% of the congregation right now feels like shit.
Yeah.
Because it relate to that message. And the reality of it is, when you look at people, some people get married to their high school sweetheart, and it becomes the story like the movie Notebook, right? Noah, oh my God. And he sits there and he writes the journal to you, and oh, she remembers him, and then they die in bed together. Oh, will I ever have this kind of a love life with my husband? No, I met her at a nightclub. I met him at a nightclub, right? So sometimes comparing ourselves to other people, I've seen people that get married by the book, met at church, waited, 2 years later, divorce, nasty divorce. I've met people that get married in the weirdest places, and they're married for 30 years. It's a very weird thing. However, if anybody, I love the way you put it at the beginning where you said everybody has to look at themselves as you're the CEO of your business. You are a business, right? How can I make this product a better product no matter where I go? Last month, January, go to January, December, we start doing annual reviews, right? We got a bunch of employees here, so we're going through annual reviews, and we're scoring everybody. Managers scored, then they bring them in, and we have 5 categories that we go through with everybody. And some of the folks that are watching this right now, if you got a job, you went through it, and maybe your boss didn't give you what you expected to get to hit the 100% the bonus. You're not happy about the message I'm giving you, but stay with me here. So we have outstanding. Then you have exceeds expectation, meets expectation, does not meet needs improvement, does not meet expectation. Whoever's does not meet expectation, we move on with them. Whoever's in the outstanding category, massive raise, bonus, and a multiplier of a bonus. It's not just 100%, it's 125, 150% the bonus, so they're very happy about it. And then we structure it. So now how do we score folks? On 5 areas plus the 3 on bonus that I'll give you here in a minute. So number 1, we score you 0 to 10 on your attitude. Very simple. How's this person's attitude? Give them an 8. That's good. Okay, cool. How about effort? They're always here at 9:01 and they leave at 4:59. Let's give them a 4.5, 5. They just kind of just do enough to come in, but nothing above and beyond. Cool. How about teamwork? This person's a team player. Really, anytime anyone's ever asked help, they're a good team player. 8.5. Cool. How about when it comes on to creativity, innovation? Do they find ways to solve problems? Yeah, not really. Probably 6.5. Okay, how about the last one, results? No, they get their job done. They're an 8. Great. Then we score it out of 50, and then that's the score that you got. Then in the last one that we do, the 3 is L, S, and you have the last one being C. So L, leadership skills. Do they have leadership skills? Do other departments watch this person as an example of a leader? Yeah, I kind of like the way this person leads. Do they develop other people that get promoted and work in different departments? They do. Number 2 is specialized skill. What new skill set did you pick up this year, Johnny? This year I learned how to code in my spare time. How much time you put into that? 150 hours. Really? Yeah. Good for you. What did you learn? I learned how to edit. I learned how to sell. I took a negotiation class. I took a customer experience class with this guy named Will Guidero, who ran the #1 restaurant in the world called 11 Madison in New York, and he became a 3 Michelin star. I want to learn how to give better customer service to our guests when they come into the office. Very cool. But I'm asking, what specialized skill sets did you learn? Why is that important? Because you're increasing your market cap. You're increasing your market value. The market will pay you more for whatever more level of value you bring into the market, right? And then the last one is culture. Does this person fit the culture? Does this person love what they're working at, right? This is a form of a SWOT analysis for all of us to do on a yearly basis, okay? And we do this quarterly. For me, when I sit down and I do business plan, things change for me with business plan when it was actually a life plan. And I remember one time I watched this movie called Meet Joe Black. I don't know if, Dr. Phil, you've seen Meet Joe Black. It's a movie with Brad Pitt where Anthony Hopkins comes up and it's death, and you know how it starts, and he's with his daughter and they're flying the helicopter and all this stuff. And I look at my wife, I said, oh my God, babe, you know what? We got 4 kids, 2 older boys, 2 younger girls. Man, I want one day for my 65th birthday to look like this, and I want us to be able to do this. Yeah, Meet Joe Black. And it gets you thinking too, this thing's going to go by very quick. And I said, I want this life. And then I remember when I'm in insurance and I'm building a business, I said, I want to build a holding company one day where my kids are not forced to work just in one business. If they want to choose to do content, if they want to choose engineering, sales, retail, real estate, they could do it. So the more and more we kind of measure ourselves for the kind of life that we want to build, and we're excited about it. I'm at a soccer tournament yesterday. One of the boys that's there with his father, and it's an all-day soccer tournament. I've seen this kid a few times in the last year and a half, and he's always down, grouchy, and quiet. Doesn't say anything. Good-looking guy. He looks like he could be in Hollywood. So I said, how you doing? takes his earpiece off as if like, why are you talking to me? And the father's standing between he and I. I said, how you doing? I'm okay. How's school? Whatever. What grade are you in? High school, 10th grade. What's your favorite subject? Probably I like science. What do you think about math? Hate it. Really? What do you want to do in high school? Do you want to play sports? Not really. Are you into chess? Not really. Do you want to be a valedictorian, compete? Not really. Who do you look up to? Nobody. Do you have any athletes? Anybody you look up to? No. Who's your hero? No one. Do you have any dreams? Not really. And and he couldn't wait. He keeps going like this with the earpiece, like, sir, can you still stop talking to me because you're bothering me? And he puts a thing in his ear and he walks away, and I pull the father aside. I said, I got a question for you. He says, yes. I said, when's the last time you took your son out to dinner or lunch by yourself for a couple hours and you poured into him? He looks like he's running on E. When's the last time you sat down with your son and you talked to him whether he's drifting or not? He looks like he's drifting right now. He's going to be a 30-year-old man drifting. When's the last time you poured into him? When's the last time you had a conversation with him? And he says, I haven't for years, because he went through a challenge with his mother. I said, man, I think that guy needs 2 hours away from everybody with daddy, and you're his daddy. And I said, I did that 1.5 years ago with my oldest son, because my son one of them was drifting, and it was clear I was drifting as a young kid till I was 18 years old when I joined the Army. But sometimes if at 46, at 63, at 13, at 18, if we don't have a dream, it could be as simple becoming a VP of Ops, becoming a manager, becoming a general manager, whatever it could be. If there is no dream to get your juices flowing, why would I put a plan together and work on, getting better for myself? Why would I do that? So I think at the most basic level, Dr. Phil, is I saw the video of your house, right? And where you guys are giving a tour of your house. We watched this a few months ago. One of my guys was showing me, I think there was some record with your house. And you're like, here's where they built this. Here's where they built that. Here's where they built this. I was a kid growing up, like the life of rich and famous. You're looking at people's homes. It was so exciting, but it's a dream. One doesn't wake up one day living in a house like that accidentally. At some point, somebody was dreaming. So to me, I think the dream machine, for anybody that's listening, if you get the dream machine going again and you get excited about it, then that'll prompt you to write a plan together. Then that plan you put together, hopefully you have some direction. Then you want to improve this product. So to me, at the most basic level, it starts with having dreams. If you don't have them, why am I going to get up and improve myself?